My guest joining me this morning for the news review, we have Wanda Madilo. He's a development analyst. And we also have Afemoni. He's former president of the GGA. In the course of the conversation, when my third guest arrives, I will introduce him. You're matching, gentlemen. You look good together. There's something similar about the colors when it took the shots of both of you. But welcome to the AM show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to start with you, Wanda. You know how we do it? We give our guests a couple of minutes to reflect on any issue of national interest. What has caught your attention?
Over the weekend, the president was in Ketu South, and he did a groundbreaking or sword cutting for the defense project, phase 2. I think that is a project that is of utmost importance to all of us, citizens along the coast, and even beyond Ketu South. It's been a problem that has been persisting for years. Bigger than that now was when Kita itself was overtaken by the tidal waves way back, somewhere in 93, 94, 95, 96. It was a major disaster. And government did some relocation exercise, built some new affordable housing, relocated the people, and some people were taken back. Large tracts of land was recovered from the sea, the ravaging tidal waves. We've seen that happen before, and we are hopeful that this groundbreaking will lay the basis for more expansive work. The president has promised that there will be some 12 groins along the coast. So that will also help for fishing, in fact, recreational fishing and commercial fishing as well. There will be some markets along the coast for the citizens. That will also help the economic life and livelihoods of our parents and loved ones. There will also be a lorry park attached to the project, and that lorry park is to ease transportation of services and goods and all that.
Right.
We have also been told that there will be some relocation exercises and some tourist embankments for the people. We're very excited because if you look at the Soma area, I think more than 50% of their land is gone.
That's my hometown.
Yeah.
Soma.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Agbozumakliko.
We are inviting you to the Soma Festival in September. I will come and carry you to
No, if I'm in town, I'll try and attend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are very excited.
Okay.
It's a huge thing for us. We want to thank the president and the Minister for Works and Housing.
Yesterday, it came up even in the papers, and I was saying that in as much as you're commending this, I mean, sea defense, yes, great call, but it's not just in Keta. It's not just in the Ketu South. We have the central region, they're facing the same problems. There are other, even here in Accra, they're facing the same problems. So perhaps that is a good start, and we can model or take away the learnings and then implement a similar thing.
That's true. The only reason we are very excited is that if you look at the whole coastal belt, that area of town, we live more closer to the sea. So there have been more, houses being thrown off than in the other places.
All right.
But of course, they are very necessary. It will help all of us if government does that.
Absolutely. So, Afemoni, it's your time now to share your thoughts with us.
I'd like to take a very brief but important look at the looming by-election in Akwetia. It pays to be optimistic, but it pays more to square any sense of optimism with the logic of reality. And the reality is that electoral violence remains an insoluble puzzle as we speak now, and an indelible stain on our democracy. If we taught ourselves for holding 9 elections on the trot, but the reality is that violence threatens to wipe away all the gains, democratic gains we have made ever. So Akwetia presents the sternest test. We dare not fail. Otherwise, it will spell a doom for our democracy.
Thank you. It just got me thinking, because we keep coming back to the same issue. And something that I think stuck out for me yesterday was that NDC, NPP, you might have won the election, but, you know, the issues of electoral violence have marred that victory for you. And when we start thinking along those lines, we realize that it's not win at all costs or lose at all costs. You know what I mean?
We ought to turn a new page as far as...
It's 2025, man. Anyway, so let me, I want to introduce my next guest to you, but I want to give you the stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic before I do that. So on the Daily Graphic, we have Chiefs can't renegotiate sold lands. That is according to Justice Osei Tutu. And on the Ablekuma North violence, we're just talking about election violence, police reviewing viral videos to identify culprits. And these are stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic. 37,000 candidates write licensure exams. And Ghana Health Service steps up autism support, finalizes community-based plan, according to the Director General. And so I want to give a bit of details in terms of what they're saying, that chiefs can't renegotiate sold lands. A change of a chief as a result of death, abdication, or distillment does not affect the status of land sale transactions existing within the jurisdiction before a new chief ascends the throne. And this is coming from Justice Alexander Osei Tutu. He's a justice of the Court of Appeal. And he's saying that, quote, our chiefs must refrain from harassing people who've bought lands. It is unlawful for a new chief to say that he does not recognize the sale of land under a previous chief and tell the guarantees to regularize, I think that's clause 183 of the Land Act 2020. And so that's what they're saying. I want to come to you, gentlemen, for your reflections on this. But first, let me bring in Awal Mohammed into the conversation. He is from the NPP Communications Directorate. You're welcome, Awal.
Thank you so much.
You look good in your agbada.
Thank you.
Okay, so we want to talk about the chief issue, I mean, land renegotiation. But quickly, what are your thoughts for us before we get into that?
Thank you so much. Good morning to our cherished viewers, and good morning to my senior members who expressed their thoughts. I think I will, I'm told on 26 or so, the finance minister will be.
Sure.
The Agenda 111 project captured, because it's a shame that in my constituency, the Asawasi constituency, where the interior minister is, it has roofing, but unfortunately it's now a mechanic shop. I will be happy that Joy News will send their cameras and go and see. They broke the fence, entered, and now heavy cars, these heavy duty vehicles are there, and they use it as a mechanic shop. So I will want to see something captured so that they will be able to really complete the project. It's as roofing. And this is a constituency that has over 200,000 people. We don't have even a polyclinic. All we have health centers. And now government is building a hospital for that community. And we have turned into a mechanic shop.
So you want to see some sort of allocation towards completion of all the Agenda 111 hospitals, or specifically what's happening in
Agenda 111 projects. But you see, there is a saying in Chiobi, because my own is also there. So I will be happy to see all Agenda 111 projects coming up again. But the one in Asawasi is just an eyesore. I will be happy that Joy News will send their cameras there to interview the people, the mechanics, and see who gave them the authority to even enter the place. Okay.
I don't want to probe this because you're reflecting on an issue that is of concern to you. So I just read a story about how this justice of the Court of Appeal is saying that chiefs cannot renegotiate land sold. And it's a very common issue when one chief ascends, a throne, and they say they don't recognize the sale of land and they want you to renegotiate and they're taking more money from you, and it just pushes you into a very frustrating mood. I have a personal experience with this, so I'm very interested in this story. But let's talk about it. Where do we even start to change the status quo, Wanda? What do you think about this?
Land tenure system in Ghana is still a huge challenge because large portions of our land resource is in the hands of chiefs families and then individuals. And our laws recognize some of those titles. And so where it is a family land, I mean, the law is very clear. It can be sold, but some conditions have to be fulfilled. One party of a family cannot sell the land. You will need a family head and other members to append their signature.
Sorry to interrupt. So is it an information gap? Is it that people don't know? So
yeah,
they just
really is an information gap.
Yeah.
I think that's where we are. It's an information gap because people are in a hurry to acquire property and sometimes not even doing the due diligence.
Yeah.
Instead of paying a lawyer to just help you through the process. Oh, I can do it myself. I know him, I trust him. But he won't be there forever. So if you buy property from an individual and he's no more, it's likely somebody will challenge that if it is a property or a title that is being held by a couple of people. It's a family property. If it's an individual, you already know who the title holder is. When if you go and do your searches. These days, we don't even do searches. People, show us places, we like it, and the person is paying outright or, and then later you hit a rock when you go to do the registration of the land. In fact, that land challenge has also affected investor confidence in this country. You will observe that a lot of our foreign, investment that come to this country don't want to do anything with land. The only reason for which today Ghana's industrial hub is working is because we acquired some area called the free zones until there are no litigation issues around them. And then our industrial hub and all that. Then the light industrial areas here in Accra here. But if you allow or if you let the investor go into town searching for land, it's a nightmare. People have been searching for lands 5 years, 10 years. Even when they finally get it, it's full of litigation. They're in court today and tomorrow and all that. So if we really mean development, if we really mean to help in supporting the growth of this country in industrialization, one of the things to do is to take serious and a critical look at the land tenure system. And I'm very excited that the land minister has indicated that some reforms are going on. They want to digitize our land demarcation, acquisition, and all that.
Right.
And so I'm pretty sure that if we get to that level where people are transparent, things are done in a more orderly manner, and we can also register land as quickly as possible. Today, you want to register land, it takes you like 6 months minimum. That is if you have the money to even pay in order to register. Some people pay and it's a scam and all that. So indeed, it's a concern, and we need to find a solution to this. I think that it will also be good. I always call on National Commission for Civic Education to lead some of these discussions. They will keep quiet until elections, and then we always see is ballot papers flying all over the place and telling voter education and all. That's not all there is. For civic education to be active in this country, you must be involved in our day-to-day, life as a people. And for me, again, I'll call on them to take up some of these, projects. And there are also a lot of NGOs in that space that can help. Ministry of Environment can also help. Ministry of Natural Resources, Land and Natural Resources can also help in this regard. It will surprise you to know that even this Galamsey that we are talking about, the fights are sometimes based on the ownership of the land.
Right. Okay.
So thank you.
And I mean, although we are saying it's an information gap, there's some discrepancies in what the law even says. And I think that's exactly what the justice is alluding to. And let me quote some of the things he said. He says, while there are various provisions in Act 1036 to ensure accountability of chiefs in the sale of lands, lapses in the Act has made it virtually impossible to enforce such provisions. And case in point, he's saying, although Act 1036 criminalized the lack of accountability on the part of a chief in the sale of lands, there was a lack of clarity on the ingredients of such an offense. You see, so there's a law that says that perhaps if you don't recognize the sale of land from your previous, whoever your predecessors were, there's a law that criminalizes that. But as to what actually constitutes the crime there, we don't have clarity on that. And so it's like much ado about nothing. We have the laws, but...
That's true. The last review of the Act tried to introduce some accountability issues. One is to establish what they call the administrative office, or it escaped me, but there's an administrative office where you give accountability, where you report to. If you're a chief and you hold land in trust for your people, you go and you account for it. But unfortunately, when we do our indentures, you see one signature, one witness. And the land is a titled land. So one person signing it is not enough. What decisions? Because there should be a background decision to say that when we met, we decided to sell this land to so and so person. That should be an attachment to the indenture you are holding. But you see, we always run around, take one signature, one witness. You also bring one signature, one witness, and you think you are done. I think that those are the challenges that comes with it.
Okay, Mr. Moni, let me pick your thoughts on this as well.
I think to blame this issue on information gap is to scratch the surface of the problem.
Okay.
Because they are deeply embedded. The problems are deeply embedded in greed, in flouting of authority. You know, we respect our chiefs. You know, they are venerated. And at the same time, they ought to know where their powers end and where the law takes its course. Many people have died. There's this tragic example of a senior journalist who bought a land and he was dispossessed of that land, and that spelled his death. He died under tragic circumstances. And there are a litany of such examples. So it's not enough to blame this on information gap. There's a need to ensure that what is enshrined in our laws
is done.
Okay.
Thank you. Awa, what do you say to this? I mean, information gap, is it the discrepancies in what the law says, or is it just a matter of succession in terms of chieftaincy? Because these disputes also erupt into so many violence clashes, and we've seen them. Boko is parts, we go to so many places. Let me not take the wind out of your sail.
Yeah, so I think I have seen a couple of them in even Ashanti region. You buy a land, you are even using the land, maybe you have even built on the land. Then the chief dies, a new chief comes in, he will ask all of you to bring your documents, title documents to the land and so on. You come there and they will tell you that you will have to pay certain amounts of money because the uncle did not really take you the exact amount that he's supposed to. So I'm sure that is the reason the judge is saying that they can't renegotiate again.
Yes.
Because you see, you bought it maybe at 10,000 cedis 10 years ago. Now, a new chief comes in, you have not developed the land. Then he comes in to ask you to bring the title. You bring in a title, they said they will do another title for you. And some even take you money. Some will even tell you that the amount of money is too small, you have to renegotiate and so on. So I think this is a very good call. But I know that we started something, the digitalization of the lands. I remember it was launched around February 2024. I just checked the update, and I saw that in April, the current lands minister is saying that they require $165 million to be able to digitize all the lands. I think whatever you need to digitize is better, because you see, in Accra here, it's difficult to even buy a land. You can buy a land today, tomorrow you go, there's a building on it. Because you buy it, someone will also go and sell it somewhere. And that is also difficult for you to even say that, well, let me have some land so that later in the next 5 years I develop it and so on. But if you go and you're going to buy a land and you can go online and check and find out if that land has been sold already, you will not even go into any rigmarole of going to buy and tomorrow someone will come and build. You have to go and hire people to come and stand there for you to build and so on. So the digitalization of the lands is very, very important. The moment we digitalize, if I am buying any land, I go online today. Because of digitalization, I can check on any car that I am going to really use, especially when I'm moving from Kumasi to Accra. I just quickly go and do the star 92 something. Then I check and see whether it's roadworthy or the insurance is valid before I even enter the car. So if really you're going to buy a land and it has been digitalized, it will be easier for you to know. Then we'll cut even this land guard things, because I'll not go and buy any litigation land again. Because if I see that it's really registered, I'll not go and buy it from anyone again.
Okay, so you also think digitalization is the way to go. All right, so let's move on from that story. Police are reviewing viral videos to identify culprits, and this is on the Ablekuma North election rerun. And the police says that they are consequently collaborating with relevant state agencies to identify actors in the violent scenes. This, the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete, disclosed this in Accra when he, along with the Minister of Defense yesterday, took their turn at the Government Accountability Series. And he said over the past few days, quite a number of security issues have emerged. He named the escalation of the Boku conflicts. In fact, I'm talking about the fallout from that presser yesterday. But let's take a moment and reflect on whether or not reviewing viral videos to identify culprits satisfy the Ghanaian who is constantly calling for us to prosecute people who are found culpable. Well, we've never actually, jailed anyone yet, as we speak. Nobody who has been caught on camera to be perpetrating a crime related to election has not, if I stand corrected, Wanda, we haven't done that yet. No, so if they've assured us that they are reviewing these videos, is that some sort of compensation to the Ghanaian who say, let's prosecute?
On top of my mind, I can't remember the name.
No.
We've had some election violences that have gone to court, especially those who burn ballot boxes.
Oh, no. All the cases, they'll tell you in various stages of progression.
No,
but in terms of finally...
Charged.
Okay.
Some people were actually charged,
yeah,
and sent to jail. But more importantly on this issue is that the Interior Minister has spoken. What he said prior to this is that nobody will be left, free if we were found culpable in this business of the day. And I'm pretty sure that they say that there is no cause without action and all that. So the aggressor and the aggressee all may be brought to book and all that. You see, investigations, we all know, take some time. Even though we're in a hurry, arrest them. It's important that you do due diligence and make sure that you are detaining the right people. Otherwise, you are going to be infringing on their rights and all that. We do understand that this was chaotic, this election was chaotic. There's another one ahead of us, which is the Akwetia one. We are hopeful that some of these things will be preempted by the security agencies. I said that what happened the last time, beyond the people's violence, which is normal for competitive elections, for people to be aggressive and all that. It's normal. We should not
normalize it.
No, the truth is that it's a competition.
Yeah, but we can have a competition without the elements of violence.
Yeah, we can use very soft, sweet language to describe it. But it's a competition between two people. And these two people, the background is that they've spent money, they have followers who they don't have control over, and all that. And we're still evolving as a democracy. Even in the US, there are pockets of, some disagreements, call it disagreements.
It doesn't end in fisticuffs and slapping people and blows all over the place. I think if you know better, you do better. So let's not normalize it to those
I'm coming. No, I'm saying that you need to understand the problem we have.
Okay, go ahead.
The problem we have is that people are violent when it comes to elections in this part of the world. Let's get that straight as a problem to be dealt with. Then we start talking to them. Then we start conscientizing them. Then we allow the candidates themselves who have followers that are of that nature to stop what they are doing. And then in collaboration with the police or the military that is in charge of the election of the day to preserve law and order. But as for violence, there will be pockets of them. However, how that is curtailed, how the police deals with that, how the security agents deal with that is what is of key. Donald Trump finished elections. Some people actually invaded what do we call their Oval House to take over. It went to court. That is in the US. That is in a very elite environment. And we have seen that all over the world. But I'm saying that it is the forthrightness of the security agencies. It is the citizens themselves willing to abide by law and order. And then also the candidates, what they tell them, they tell their followers and all that. So it's a combination, it's a gamut of issues that we need to look at. In this particular instance, I'm very sincerely hopeful that we will bring this matter to a quick conclusion.
Okay.
And I hear people say, oh, it's a retaliation, and what was she doing there and all that and all that. Even we as people who go to some of these police, our conduct should also inform, the kind of peace we are looking for. I'm not going to go into any election environment and be holding a pepper spray. What are you insinuating? What are you expecting? So some of these things are the triggers I'm talking about.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. We are all entitled to our opinions, so let me just end it there.
Yeah.
But Mr. Money, does this assurance boost your confidence in ability to actually resolve, election-related violence issues?
Sweetie, frankly speaking, I think it would be presumptuous on our part to tell the police what to do. It's their job. I believe they have experts who are good at what they do. But at the same time, what we are expecting at the end of the day is that justice.
So, the rational.
All right. Justice. We are in a dispensation of rule of law. So those who find themselves on the wrong side of the law, we made to taste the biting edge of the law.
Okay. Simplicity.
I was in Ablekuma North.
Yeah. Oh, you were there?
I was there physically live.
Okay.
And I saw what happened.
So they can call you as a witness if they want eyewitness recounts of what happened?
Not at where Howard Kumsi was.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's about at other police stations as an observer. And happy to be in the jail in 2021 to observe as an ECOWAS observer for the election rebrand. Their system, you after voting, you go home. It's only the voters who queue, and then after voting, nobody is permitted by law to hang around. So it's only the polling agents who stay around for counting to be done. And what I witnessed was free and very fair as far as the counting was concerned.
Go home and watch it on your TV.
Go and watch it on your TV. But here we see people.
It's because we don't trust. We don't trust the collation system, the process. We don't trust that electoral. See, I think it's all about trust, so Mr. Money.
Trust, yes. There's trust deficit.
If you trust them, you do not need to be stationed there to witness the collation yourself.
So that's the more reason why the party agents and observers should be allowed to. Anyway. I was an observer. I was allowed. Okay. And what I saw in Ablekuma, well-built people, a huge frame, whose presence alone was enough to impose a curfew of fear in whoever encountered them.
Right.
We're just walking around, and these people could cause mayhem. And indeed, some of them are blamable for what's happened at the police station.
Thank you, Mr. Money. Well, let's hear your thoughts on this as well.
I think the police has failed because this is the first test for Christian Tete, you will know, as IGP. 19 polling stations. 11 days after, no single person has been arrested, even not the one who assaulted the journalist. So what is he telling us? Are we to go to Akwatia, prepared ourselves as a political party? Is it only our concern that was assaulted? If she went there with pepper spray, what about the Chris Lloyd? What was his crime? He was even trying to run away when they accosted him and assaulted him. Look at the journalist, the Joy News journalist, the lady. Look at the GH1. Videos are there. They did not go there hooded. Did you see anyone hooded there? They were all with their faces. For 11 days, the police is yet to arrest a single soul. They are still telling us that they are reviewing videos.
So 3 days ago, not convinced.
3 days ago, someone sat in Kumasi, did a video, and threatened mayhem in Akwatia. Within 24 hours, he was arrested because he's MPP.
Oh.
Yes, because he mentioned it. In the video, he mentioned it. He mentioned that he's an MPP, he's an ex-Delta Force commander, and he is happy what has happened to us. And when we go to Akwatia, some people will die. He was arrested.
Let me come in here. Comparing a video that someone does with his face, speaking into the camera, we hear him say the things that he wants to say.
Yes.
Versus a video of a chaotic scene where you have to take your time and identify who exactly, maybe threw the first punch, who exactly instigated or started the violence that we saw. I think there are two. One is easier than the other, relatively. One is easier than the other. I don't think we should put this in particulars.
One has an intention to commit a crime. The others have committed crimes. that they are supposed to be arrested for 11 days in this country. They are telling us that they cannot find them. Today, if you even meet Malik Basentale, you should be able to identify some of them. If you meet their national women organizer, she should be able to identify, because she said violence begets violence.
All right. So
the police has failed in this, and they are not showing us any sign that indeed they will be able to police Akwatia.
All right. My co-anchor joins me, Samuel Kojo Brace. Unfortunately, Wanda Madilo had to take leave of us. So, Kojo, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'll come to...
what...
Go ahead.
So,
yeah.
If the police, as you say, the police is showing that they cannot, provide security for Akwatia, what do we do then?
So that is why we need the media. I am happy that you are bringing it up for discussion this morning, so that the police will understand that today, the one who went to Ablekumanov and perpetrated violence there has not been arrested. So those who are preparing to go to Akwatia will still go and continue over there. Even if you arrest, for the optics, even if you arrest the person and give the person bail, at least someone will see that, indeed, if I go to Akwatia and do that, I can even be arrested and be detained for even 2 hours or 3 hours. Now, no one has been arrested.
Oh, but the policeman who was seen slapping, he has been interdicted.
Yeah. How did we know?
So that, you said no one has been. I'm saying
when they were even communicating, there were gaps, because they didn't even mention his name. They didn't mention his rank. They didn't mention where he works, until GH1 went behind the scenes and got his name and the rank as the divisional commander for Adentan. So a divisional commander can slap a journalist without even without any cause.
You don't think the indictment is a recourse to...
You see, the problem is that we have even a problem with even these PEPs that we are talking about. Because you see, the police is supposed to investigate itself. For instance, a journalist does something here, and it's still the same multimedia that is supposed to investigate and ensure justice. How is that possible?
That
maybe you are the
independent bodies.
Exactly. Let's have independent bodies, just like the UK, to look at the misconduct of the police, because they will tell you we have interdicted them, and the person will go ahead and be taking salaries. Who will go and check and see whether the person takes half of his salary or full?
Right.
You wouldn't know.
But political parties should know that there's a law that proscribes or that prohibits. What do you call it? Vigilantism.
Yes. There's an anti-vigilantism.
Yeah.
So it means that even though we are all speaking against what happened in Ablekumanov, you should be guided by that act to say you're not going to go to what was the name? Akwatia with your own security, because that will be against the law.
That was the reason the MPP had to disband Kandahar Boys, Delta Force, Invisible Forces, Bolga Bulldogs. We disbanded the group. You saw their videos after what happened in Ablekumanov, that we took them, used them, and we turned them into criminals. We said if they even go and protect us in elections, they can be arrested and be jailed. You understand? Now the NDC have people they call the Green Army. They go there in the company of national officers. And a national officer stand there and say, if you say ke, I'll say ke. The following day, there is ke, and people have been beaten, including journalists. No single person has been arrested in the last 11 days. They are still reviewing videos. When someone only threatened, and within 24 hours, he was arrested.
Because that, as Suti said, that is clear.
But these are people that we even mentioned their names. There are people. The one who headbutted Howard Kumsin, his name was mentioned all over. Even the location. There are 2 people who, as I speak, are working at Tema, a DVNA office, who have been identified, and the police is yet to arrest them.
So why amplifying calls for speedy investigation to this?
That is what we want. That is what we want, because we cannot go to Akwatia without any arrest.
The fact also remains.
Because if we go to Akwatia...
Let's hear
Mr. The fact also remains, when it comes to violence, MPP and NDC, none of them is whiter than white.
We are better.
None of them
because
is purer than pure. This is a fact. So, violence, it can... One time about violence, once it starts, nobody can tell where it will end.
Okay.
Akwatia, because I've heard an MPP former candidate who said they should prepare for violence in Akwatia. Said it, he came out openly to say that MPP should meet NDC with violence in Akwatia. And so this reinforces the need for us, the need for the intelligence community, the need for law and order agencies to do their homework well, better than they did.
I guess the real litmus test is Akwatia now, so that we see exactly how we go forward.
A flashpoint.
With
you know,
election.
you've covered stories there. It's always a flashpoint.
Right.
So now, if we don't see anything, that is the reason that the man is saying that. Go prepared. If you're going into the elections, you went to just 19 police stations. You were beaten. Then no one has been arrested. If you're going, do you have to go with our hands again? No. The police must show us that indeed they can protect us. I was even surprised when a day before, Dr. Omani Buama came out to say that there will not be soldiers there. You've covered elections in this country. The soldiers do not man polling stations. No, what they do is that they do patrols. For instance, this heavily built men that he encountered, if there were military people, they would not even be showing up like that. It serves as at least because the military man, if you beat someone, if it were the military people standing behind our Kumsin and they are beating them, they will beat the people. They know that if I beat anyone, the military will beat me. And if I'm not careful, they can even shoot me. So they will not even do that.
So I hear you on the fact that you're not satisfied with the pace
I'm
at
only
which
disappointed,
this is
not
going.
even satisfied. I'm just disappointed in the police.
I want to conclude with the Daily Graphic. Then Kojo comes in with his paper. Defense Ministry left with 3.79 billion Ghana cedis debt, according to Dr. Mani Boama. And of course, we'll be discussing this in detail on our big stories and some of the startling revelations in terms of 2,000 recruits who might be losing their jobs and so many. So I want to put a pin in this and then we'll discuss it in detail. But you can feel free to reflect on this. I just want to also add, 1992 Constitution needs tweaks, not overhaul, according to Professor Prempe. And on the back page, Black Queens out to shock Atlas Lionesses. The 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations has reached fever pitch, and the semi-finals promise nothing short of drama, quality, and fierce rivalry as four of the continent's best lock-horns in Casablanca. And we are looking forward to the Black Queens coming out on top. So feel free to reflect on any of these, but Kojo's paper is next. You want to talk about the revelations from yesterday's government accountability series, Haruna? Awal Mohammed.
Yeah, I was very much surprised when Dr. Omani Buama came out to say that, well, there were some transfers of some ammunitions.
Yeah, from Ghanaian forces to national security, and it's untraceable, as we see.
How is this news?
It's not news?
Yes, because you see, these borders on national security, you know how to trace them. Who did the transfers? It's simple, because you said it was transferred. He didn't say they were missing. He said they transferred some ammunitions to national security.
But it's unaccounted for.
It's unaccounted for. There are officers that are supposed to account for them because you did not really transfer them in vacuum. Someone signed to transfer it. Someone signed to take them. So can't you just get these people? Because the moment you say this, people think that, hey, we're talking about small arms in this country already in the hands of people. Now you are telling us that ammunition from the armed forces, over thousands, cannot be accounted for. That portends danger. You are causing fear and panic. Yes.
So you really think he shouldn't have...
I believe that these
shouldn't have been brought to the public eye?
Usually they go to Parliament, and there are a lot of briefings. The national security briefings are done in camera. It's not everything that the Ghanaian is supposed to hear about it. If really they are missing, you get the officers in charge, and they are charged to go to court so that at least they are prosecuted.
Okay. Well, sorry, I'm not cutting you, but what is the meaning of accountability if you're not telling the people what it is?
It is not everything that you say it on air. Even you, per your training, it's not everything that you come to say on air. Because there are things that when you say, it will cause fear and panic, but you have told the truth. You understand? That's the reason I'm saying that. if you're saying that thousands, they are not missing. They have only been transferred to one agency. And before even a military person or a security person picks a gun, what he does is that he signs against pick the gun. If he returns it, he also have to sign and return it again, even the police in the police stations. So if really you have transferred it, someone signed for the transfer, someone took them into his custody. So these are administrative things that you have to do. We don't need these things because it is not even something that has been really leaked out for you to say that, well, people are saying that these things are missing. So let me come and rebut or give the details of what had happened. We were just sitting there. We were expecting you to come and tell us updates on these things, on the Ablekuma and
so
some
this is
other
not
things.
an update.
I don't think it's an update that we need as a country at this point.
And that is his opinion. But every story has two or more sides. So Dr. Manibuama has given his side of the story. So it's up to us to get to the other side and feed the public accordingly. Because in the name of comprehensive journalism, the media to have a duty.
So to add to that, yesterday we spoke to the former Deputy Defense Minister, Amankwa
Yes.
Menu,
Yes.
And he said every transfer of ammunition, because he says there's a practice where the security agencies rely on the military for weapons.
Yeah.
And every transfer has a record.
Yes, documented.
The transfer.
Yes.
So he is expecting the minister to go through the document to know who released those ammunitions. And it's easy for him to track. But again, you'd also give it to the minister because probably, and I was asking him, could it be that the minister has gone through the document and is not able to really, because the minister has seen something, that's why he's saying irregular. So probably he's seen the document, but he thinks that this is not how it is supposed to be done. That's why he labels it as irregular. But Amankwame also feels that, well, there's a committee in Parliament that superintends over there.
Yeah.
So, but for politics, because according to Menu, he says he
trying to score points.
Political innuendos in the thing. But for politics, he would have, wished that Parliament goes into this to find out what really is the issue. But he told us that there's a trace, so you can really trace where weapons go. But the question Dr. Eni, Prof. Eni was also asking was, the national security is not supposed to be using guns. Are they supposed to be using guns?
Well, it depends on the categories because you see, NIB is also part of national security. Yeah. They are trained to use guns, even though they don't use them.
Investigation Bureau.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are trained to use guns, but they don't use it more often. When there is the need for them to use it on an operation, they go to the armed forces and take them. Then after they use it, they will send it back.
And would they need thousands of ammunition that we have been made to understand?
It depends. That's the reason I'm saying that. Maybe it had even been returned, but the documentation had not been done and so on. And this is over time, I'm sure, because he didn't specify the date, even though he said prior to elections. That is why we're saying that it is clothed in kind of some kind of politics, because I think it's over time. But he wanted to say that chunk or majority of the weapons were sent before elections. You understand? So that is the reason I'm saying that. It's documented. Even a single gun is documented, even if you take it from them. So other security agencies, some are mandated to use guns. Even NACOP now, they are also trained to use guns, but they don't use it. When you go to the airport, you see them, they don't use guns there. But when there is the need for them to go to places where they can do the raid for these red people, and yesterday I saw some Alaji in the northern region who has been arrested with tramadol and so on. It's NACOP that with the police that did that operations, and they did that with guns. But they don't have guns. They don't have licensed guns that are in their custody at any time. But as and when they need them, they are given the guns to work with them.
So now we heard from the two sides.
Yeah.
In between the two lies the truth. So it's up to the media community to ferret the truth and then feed the public accordingly.
Fortunately, now we have right to information, so you can write.
In the name of fact-checking journalism.
Yes. You can write to them, even though in the act, they are saying that there are some national security issues that will not be disclosed to the journalist. And that I find
something the public
very
domain,
strange.
so
Yeah, but I mean, if we're being honest, I appreciate that they're telling us these things. I know that these are security matters, and sometimes we have to be, not sometimes, we at all times, we have to be circumspect in what we report. But I also appreciate that they came into power on the, the campaign on transparency, and so and I don't think this is any different from Meet the Press, the one that's
it's Meet the Press.
It's Meet the Press.
So
it's just regular updates on what is happening, So we cannot choose and say, don't tell us this, tell me. I want to tell me so that I can decide for myself what to do with the information. Kojo, back to you.
All right, I have the Daily Guide newspaper. If you look at the front page, it says UTAC threatens strike over Galamsey, and that story was in our news this morning. 962 small-scale mining licenses risk revocation. Presidential jet grounded in France. That story is on page 3 of the paper. Ghanaians to pay $250 extra for U.S. visa. Someone was asking me, why haven't you applied for any visa before?
Because
this is where I like this.
You will always want to go to your hunter.
So sometimes, exactly. If I'm traveling, I'll go to a hunter West. And when I'm going to a hunter, I don't need a visa. I have to maybe take a flight or drive. So those of you who bother of going to the U.S.
But when did you course in the U.S.?
Again?
When did you course in the U.S.?
Official. Well, as for that, the company will pay. So I don't care about that.
That's official.
So those of you who want to go to U.S., prepare to pay $250 extra for visa.
But I'm told it will be refunded if you are able to really. If you are able to ensure the sanctity of the visa, yes. Because,
okay.
Yes.
It's like that when you're going to South Africa, you pay like $100 or so.
Okay.
They will pay some amount of money, and then when you return, they give it back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, similar to that.
The point is that if you go to
they don't want you to
if you go to someone's country, don't think of overstaying. Just come back. When you come back, you still have the opportunity to go there. I mean, look, it's because people don't want to be doing. I always say, when I was a presenter in Takrady, I was a morning show host, but I was selling my wife's bread. Sometimes my wife was like, why are you selling? But I was like, no. You know what? Whilst I'm not stealing, but I'm doing good business. And even me selling the bread.
There's nothing meaning about selling bread.
And even selling the bread, motivate a young man to say, but that's Kojo Brace. That's a big man. He's selling bread. I want to be. Look, I really enjoyed it. I put bread in my car and go around to the city supplying my customers. I tell people, if you don't feel shy of selling water and bread in the traffic, you make money. Because those people are seeing money on a daily basis.
Right.
Why would you, say...
Which is not everyone who's blessed with, maybe the boldness and brave... I don't know what to call it,
maybe.
Some people too have some skill. They have too many skills to resort to that. So I don't necessarily shame people who can't do it. There are people who can't, like me, I can't do it. I really cannot do it. Not because I'm shy. I feel like I have too many skills I can leverage rather than resort to that.
It is for some people who think that this job, it's demeaning.
Well, then go and find something that you think you can do.
Yes. All that I'm trying to say is that your tendency of thinking your success lies in another man's country is why that country wants to do whatever it likes to your people.
Squeeze you dry. Yes. Yeah, you're right.
So when you go there, come back. Come make money in Ghana, go for holidays there. Let them see that, Charlie.
That's the right mentality,
And
I remember the Gitimo issues. When it came, I was highly critical of the government and the U.S. government and so on. Someone told me, you won't get visa. I said, what will I even go do in there? I have never in my entire life thought of living anywhere except Ghana. If it is official, they'll give me visa. If they deny me visa, I still remain. What will I go and do? I'm not a business person. I'm going to
We're not
business
criticizing the people who say they go and they won't come back. But we're only saying that the actions is serving as impediment in the ways of other people who genuinely would have gone there for an important activity and returned. There's so much money in this country. Look, when I drive on the corridors of the Western region, I'm like, shit. opportunities. You just have to see them and get someone who would probably be your, because it's money as well.
Yeah.
Someone who would be your backbone and fund you. If you get someone like that, look, don't travel. Come to me. I'll show you where
to get the money.
and how to get the money.
Yeah.
The story is
Fishers of men, please, let's continue.
If you don't have the money, that is the problem. But there are things that you don't require money to start with.
Yeah.
Look, I was a quarry supplier in Takoradi. I started with zero. And sometimes when I see people laughing that, oh, this person said I started with one person, I started with zero. The only thing I started with was my credibility.
And goodwill. Yes.
And the story is told of the owner of La Bianca, who also started with zero. She went outside and it was fruitless. So came back to Ghana and then somebody supplied her chicken. And then she sold the chicken and returned the money 3 times. And that was a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Let's not, I don't intend to belabor the point, but most successful people rarely ever tell the real stories behind their successes.
Anyway, one day
and
we'll tell it.
I started with 1 shoe, I started with 3 hens. It's not all of them that's real.
That is related
you know?
to the 250 cedis dollars.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dollars that people will be paying. So it's just to say that when you go, come back. Presidential agent grounded in France, maybe you don't take a bite on it. UTAC threatens strike over Galamsey. It's also another story. But
my interest is on UTAC, right?
Is on UTAC, okay. But another story that really is the BOG refuting dollar shortage claims. I want to read a bit of it. It says, the Bank of Ghana has assured the public that there is sufficient foreign exchange supply to meet market demand. Responding to claims from some traders and businesses about the delays in accessing dollars to complete transactions, particularly from their foreign currency accounts. The BOG said the current challenges stem not from a lack of foreign exchange, but from strict enforcement of existing foreign exchange laws requiring full documentation for dollar transactions. So that's also another story. On this story, I'm interested in that. Recently, a friend of mine wanted to send dollars outside. Completed all the documentation. It took almost 3 weeks before it got done. So really, what was that?
I mean,
it's not lack of it.
I'm just waiting for a transfer within my own accounts from dollar to cedi. Just convert money. It's been 4 days or so. I still haven't got it yet. So no, from my own account, from my own dollar account to my cedi account. I'm still waiting.
Maybe when you call the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Siama, he'll be able to do that. Your colleague in Isra FM, Kumasi, complained about that, wrote it on his Facebook page, sat on Isra FM and lamented. He said, he wrote it back that the following day he wrote that the Bank of Ghana governor called him and facilitated for him to get. So the question is, how do people who do not have the privilege to speak to a governor Bank of Ghana are able to get these dollars? He said his partner, Nana Jantwa said his partners needed some dollars and they went to the bank. For 2 weeks, they couldn't get the dollars. So he went on Ishra FM, it's a very authoritative platform, and pour out these. And later, he said the Bank of Ghana governor called him and was able to facilitate for his partners to get the monies.
Well, I guess
it's disheartening. But you see, the problem is that, to be very honest, let's not always attack Bank of Ghana. Because you see, the commercial banks too, you go there, and because they supply Abuchi the dollars, they will tell you that the dollars are not there. They can call in Abuchi and Abuchi will supply you with the dollar because they have their shares and so on.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, that usually.
You have an experience of that?
Yes, they are friends with those in the banks. You go to the bank, they tell you, we don't have it. But
Mohammed, this is a serious allegation.
Yes. They said,
do you have evidence?
I'm telling you that this is something that I know. I go to Nima. I go to Nima almost every day. I have a place that I go and sit, and this is the place that we call where you call the Alaji has the dollar and so on. They tell us that they get these dollars from the banks, and the bank manager can call him and tell him, I need $200,000, and he sends it with his rate. Then he tipped the Bank of Ghana, the bank manager, because you go there and they tell you, we don't have it. that will give you officially. But I know some Abuchi somewhere who can give it to you. They say, okay, then.
So I hate to interject, but I don't want us to focus on, Abuchi. I think the story is that the shortage is not because there are no dollars in the system, but they have stricter, policies in place that you have to check all the boxes before you can get access to the money. That's what
the question is. Is that a real issue too?
Yeah, but there are inconsistencies here then. Because you remember when, I think it's still Joy News, when Adongo granted interview and said they are going to be strict on even your own dollar account, just like you are saying that in the last 4 days. They came out with a statement to say that Adongo is the finance committee chair in Parliament and a board member at Bank of Ghana.
Yeah.
Just after his inauguration, he came and said they will enforce these measures.
But I think the Bank of Ghana came out too.
They came out to the bank. Now they are telling us that they are also following the strict. So which is which? Is it what Adongo said that they are implementing, or you understand? Because now they are saying that Adongo says they will be strict even on your own bank account. Then Bank of Ghana came with a statement to say that that is not true.
Adongo said it will be illegal to even own.
No.
Yeah, he said if you had pounds in your accounts,
you cannot withdraw.
To convert. You cannot
withdraw
convert it to cedis.
and spend it here. He said you cannot withdraw and spend it here.
Yeah.
Just like what you wanted to do. You want to withdraw, right? Transfer from.
No, I mean I don't want the extra charge. When you're withdrawing, they charge you some 3.5 something. So I wanted to convert from my own dollar account to my own, so that I can withdraw.
So you want to get cedis.
Let's move on from this, please. We have 7 minutes or so to wrap up. And I know Afelmoni wanted to comment on the illegal mining. Right.
A quick comment. A stalwart of NDC, Tony Edu, has said, I think it's quoted by one of the papers, has said that NDC's electoral fortunes in 2028 will be defined by how they handle the issue of Galamsey.
Yeah.
In all fairness, progress has been made, but this is not enough to turn the needle. The fight against Galamsey remains a chronic one. We are nowhere near winning this fight. It also remains a fact that political will is conspicuous by its absence in dealing surgically with the root cause of Galamsey. So let's give my good friend Amaku Fibua the benefits of the doubt to win this fight. It's winnable. It's winnable. The fight against Galamsey is winnable. But we need to pluck the political will. We need to, put on fire on all cylinders, activate all levers, and ensure that for once there's tangible evidence that our forests cover will not be depleted with reckless abandon.
Right.
Our water bodies will not be polluted by people who want to feed fat, reap where they have not sown, and then sentencing people to premature death. We need to wake up as a nation.
Thank you. Awal, final thoughts on this?
Yes, I think the Galamsey...
Can we call it illegal mining instead of Galamsey? No. I mean, yesterday, I understand why Galamsey would sound like a sweet covering of the rot that illegal mining actually is. Galamsey, gather and sell. And every time I hear those who fight against it, say, let's use the correct term so we understand what we're talking about. It's illegal mining, not gather and sell. It's not Galamsey anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Galamsey has assumed a more serious meaning.
Has it?
Yes, it has.
Okay, go ahead.
See, the challenge we have is that a government that campaign on certain issues, that when we come, this is what we want to come and do. You remember the UTAG strike. You remember even pastors had to do procession against Galamsey in this country. You remember even organized labor.
Until that U-turn.
Exactly, that they wanted, yes, that they want us to repeal the law that grants the concession into forest reserve. Today, as I speak, about 5 companies have had access to license to mine in the forest reserve because the law has not been repealed. They only want to amend something. But these were the promise. What happened to when President Mahama said he was going to use AI to fight Galamsey? Now we have three different committees that are fighting Galamsey. Together with we have the Blue Water Guards. I'm told some are even around Axim directing traffic. Then you have a committee that was set up by Muntaka Interior Minister. They said a joint committee. Now Gold Board has also set up one. So as I speak, the government is only interested in how to buy the gold from the Galamseyers and not how to fight Galamsey. Because
that's your reading of the matter, not a statement of facts. I just have to say that. That's what you think is happening.
Yes, because you see, if you go to Osino and Yinam, it is done in the heart of the town. We have MC, who is the MUSEC chair, municipal security chair. But it is done in the heart of the town because the party aba. That is what we see.
But the question is, what is your basis of saying Gold Board is buying the Galamsey gold? Because what you're explaining, you're talking about the Galamsey itself.
Yes.
But how do you link that to Gold Board?
So where are they buying it? Where do they sell their gold? Because today, when with the laws in this country from May up to today, you cannot sell to anyone except Gold Board licensed.
We understand that.
So where do they sell their gold now?
But you also do appreciate that in this country, whenever there are laws to restrict the selling of something, then you open the door for smuggling. Why aren't you asking yourself, are they smuggling?
No, but it was just 2 weeks ago that the president said, when after inaugurating that task force by Gold Board, that they will check smuggling, they will check people who are buying illegally and so on. We've not heard any story of people doing illegal buying. So these Galamseyers, where do they sell their gold? They sell it to the same Gold Board.
No, it's a question we need to ask, but you cannot.
That's what I assume because...
that's an assumption.
Yes, but I'm saying I'm assuming. That's what she said. That's my opinion because it might not be grounded in facts, but everything points to the fact that because they don't sell it to the Indians now, initially they sell it to the Indians and some few other people. Now the Indians have been taken out of the business. Now there are 300 different NDC individuals who have been given the licenses to...
Oh, wow, you have to be substantiating your claims in fact. Yeah. I mean, well, you are speaking for the
that won't be factual.
Yes.
Because I'm coming from a community or an area where gold dealers are. Okay. The people I know, they've been given licenses. It's not all of them who are NDC people. Okay.
Kojo, let me do this in 1 minute so that we can wrap up. So I want to get your thoughts on this. The 2024 Auditor General's report on the public accounts of Ghana has uncovered significant lapses in contract management across public institutions, with irregularities amounting to a staggering, and hear this, 871 million, over 871 million. And the losses stem largely from public boards, corporations, and statutory institutions failing to enforce key contract provisions and honor overdue obligations. And it's like the same song we keep singing. This is not news to us. We've been here before. Every year we come back, and it looks like the figures just keep increasing, and nothing is done about it. Quick thoughts on this, because we have to go.
See, usually, it is not the figures that keep on increasing. They roll it over. So definitely it will increase. These are irregularities. Some are not even monies that are missing. But remember, in the past, we politicians, when the shoe is on the other side, we come to say, Auditor General alone can generate this amount of money. Some are even receipts that you're supposed to present that you have not presented. They will add it as irregularity. So if you're able to present it, yes, these are irregularities.
Instances of plain thievery.
Yes.
Instances of...
there are. Yeah. But I'm saying that when you check, they said some contracts that have not been honored and some reconciliations that have not been done. These are the things that balloon
losses from public boards as well.
Exactly. So the losses. These are things that has nothing to do with politics, has nothing to do with politicians, because as I speak, in the last 4 years or 5 years, I have not seen a single audit query for any politician. These are, that's why they said public boards and institutions. These are officers who are public servants and civil servants who engage in these irregularities and so on. So I don't know how, because you see, at a point in time, Occupied Ghana was able to push some legislation for them to allow this Auditor General to do disallowance and discharge, so that at least some people will be able to pay these amounts of money that they have embezzled or misappropriated and so on. If it is embezzlement, they can go to court. But if it's misappropriation, they return it back to the state and so on. Okay. I don't know how they are enforcing these things. These are reports that we
were told by the Public Accounts Committee
yes.
that they went to surcharge people
yes.
who cause such colossal financial loss to the state, and nothing has happened since then.
No, in the past, I have seen some people, even at YE. I remember there was a lady who left the country, went, and for 2 years she was still paid. So the disallowance and surcharge was done.
Okay.
And
now thank you. Let me hear Mr. Money on this finally, and then we have to go.
So the law should take its course. We are in a dispensation rule of law.
Okay.
So any infractions of the law should attract the stiffest punishment.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Kojo, that's our time for the news review.